Hi everyone. So in this tutorial we are going to learn pivot tables and charts and how to create them through random numbers. So the first thing that we need to understand here is that pivot tables are different from the simple tables in the sense that they will provide you summarized data and they are not fixed, they are flexible, and you can change them. You can change their variables also just by a click. So let's not waste more time and we can go back and learn how to do the pivot tables. So going to my Excel sheet here. So this is the question that we have. So this is a simplified version. So in the playlist you can find the complex versions of pivot chart also, and how do we create a dashboard. So coming back to the simple question, so they've asked us prepare a spreadsheet in the MS Excel to classify 100 random generated numbers varying between 100 to 200 and a multiplier of 10 according to the following category classification. So they have given us country code, country name, and the population in crores, right? So use pivot table to show how many times a particular country is appearing in the data. Show your results graphically also along with the population of the country. So the first thing that we need to do is we have to generate 100 random numbers. So I'll just make my tables quickly here. And out of these random numbers, I have to get my country codes, right? So let's first get my serial numbers here. So I'll just select these two cells and drag them to 100. So we have reached our 100 here. Yeah. So going back, now I have to generate my random numbers. So for that there is a command called rand between. Now they've asked us to generate random numbers between 100 to 200, but all the numbers that are generated should be a multiple of 10, right? So in order to do that, I'll type 10 here, and I'll type my top item as 20. But what I will do is I will multiply this with 10. So this way whatever number comes here will automatically will be multiplied by 10, and it will give us a number between 100 and 200. So I'll press enter here, and now I'll simply drag this formula in order to copy it in the other cells also. So you see I have generated 100 random numbers, but if I click on this, see, so the thing is that these random numbers keep on changing by themselves. So what I need to do is I need to select all these. You can go manually also. I've pressed Control Shift and down button. Now I'll copy these, and now I have to paste them here. So I'll go to paste and I'll press paste special, and I'll click on values, press OK. So now I've fixed these values. See, these are not changing, these are just simple values, right? Now the next thing that I need to do is that I need to match up these country codes with my countries here, right? Because we don't know which number belongs to which country, right? So for that I'll type in my VLOOKUP formula, since VLOOKUP is used to look up a value in the corresponding table, right? So in my lookup value, this is the cell that I want to look up, right? Then in table array, this is my table, the reference that I want to give. Now in the next column they are asking me for column index, so I need to tell them whether I should refer, whether Excel should refer to column 1 or column 2. So here I wanted to refer to the country name, so which is column 2. Now range lookup. So it is asking me whether it should go for approximate match or false exact match. So I'll click on false, which is my exact match. I'll close the bracket. Now I'm done here. So you see 130 is for France here, and if I go to my original table, 130 is for France here. Now if I want to drag this formula down, I want to fix my table here, the reference table. So for that I'll press F4 and automatically this will affix the dollar sign which fixes the table here. I'll press enter. Now I can simply drag down this formula till my 100th item. So you see now some of the values are assigned the country and some are written as not applicable. Why? Because if you see in the original data, the values, the country code is only till 180. So that means something of 190 will not have any value, right? So how to deal with these kind of values? We will introduce my if error formula here. So I'm saying to the Excel that if error, if there is no error, then use this formula. Otherwise, put a 0 here, right? So that means if it doesn't satisfy the formula, then you are supposed to put a 0 here. I'll put the bracket and then I'll press enter, right? So I'll drag this formula to the whole series. Now you see the values where there is no country, now we have 0 value in those cases. So this we were able to do with the help of my VLOOKUP formula and if error formula, right? Now the next thing that we are supposed to do is they are asking us use pivot table to show how many times a particular country is appearing in the data. So for that I will go to my insert tab and I'll introduce pivot table. So my table range here is my country code and my country name. Now they are asking us whether I want my pivot table in the new worksheet or the existing worksheet. So since this is not complex data, I'll go by the existing worksheet, and now I need to choose my location. So let's keep it here only. I'll press OK. So now I have my pivot table. Since they're asking a very easy question, I think I've made a mistake here. I've not included the data headers, right? So what we can do here is I need to delete this table. Or let's just go undo. Yeah. So I'll type in country name here, right? And I'll go back to my insert pivot table. So this is my range of the table, right? So make sure it has headers, and I'll select existing worksheet, and for location I'll select this cell. I'll press OK. So now you see, if I want to see how many times a particular country is appearing, so I'll put country name here because I want my countries in rows here and my country code here. So by default it is showing some. So if I want to change it to the count, what I will do is I'll click on it, I'll go to value field settings, and now I'll show it as, I'll press on count and press OK. So now we can see that Australia is showing 5 times, China is showing 13 times, France is showing 10 times. Similarly, the word 0, which means there are 24 entries here which do not pertain to any country, right? Similarly, USA has 14 items. Now they're asking us, show your results graphically along with population of the country. So for that, I will need to insert a pivot chart here, and if you want, you can remove this 0 item here, right? You can format the data as many times as you want, and you can, beautify it. Now let's see which chart is suitable for us here. So I think this one looks good, so I'll go by this table, this chart. Let me put it here. I'll zoom in a little bit, and if I have to format it, so I'll hide all the field buttons, right? I'll delete this, I'll delete the grid lines, and let's arrange this in a descending order. So categories in reverse order. So we have 0 also here, right? So I think we need to make few other changes also. Let me make changes to this only. So let me sort it largest to smallest. See, so now automatically your data is also changed. So let me delete this also. Yeah, and I can rename my chart as country code by the name of the country, or you can name it whatever you want, right? Or the count of country code or count of country name, right? So I hope you think of a better title than me, right? And if you want further, you can edit it. So go to format, you can change the color, right? And if you want, you can use your data labels also, right? So I think that is it, and you can continue with the formatting as as much as you want. So that was it for this question. So I hope it is understood to everybody. So this is my pivot table and this is my pivot chart. So thank you for listening.